Yes.
I-
Do you want me to take this one?
Yes, can you take this one, please?
Yeah, Sergioc89 against jd105l. That is not a 1 or an I. That's a lowercase l. Why? Just to make things difficult for us. JD has just about 500 games. This is their debut in SCL, of course. Sergio has about 1,500 games, a little more of a fixture in the Discord. You probably know Sergio a little bit. What you might not know, Sergio was kind enough to share with me, is that they are playing with one hand because of a hand surgery that is the reason they had to drop out of Winter Cup, as a matter of fact.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sergio actually sent me pictures of their setup to show how difficult it is. They sent me so many that I know the back of their hand like the back of my hand now. It's a very impressive setup, and apparently they've gotten pretty good. Sergio says their walking bugs have actually improved based on the new setup. So playing with a handicap quite literally right now, but I'm excited to see how they do.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be hype.
I am
Yes.
too. Let me make sure I have everyone's name correctly, and I can start off with the first ban. Sergio, banning library. No fan of big maps. And the opponent is not a fan of big maps either, because they're banning modern.
Well,
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good teamwork right there. Next up is Pub. Starting off with Pub 3-5.
Mm-hmm.
Very special instead of last year's 4-7. Yeah. We are
Mhm.
now this year 3-5.
Yep.
Reintroducing Gallery. That was this is going to be a fun set.
Yes.
After that is High Rise. Ooh. And rounding it out is Ballroom.
I mean, you see clear picks here, certainly, from Sergio. Wants to play the Softail variants, wants to play the mind games, wants to stay away from those crazy, busy maps. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep. Let me pull up the replays. All right.
yeah.
Yep.
This is interesting because Sergio, nobody likes big maps. Sergio likes Softail variants, and JD likes cover.
Yeah, cover's a fair way to say it. Occlusion. That's not being.
Occlusion. Yeah.
Yes. It's a good summary. I like it.
Yep.
Oh, and check out that pretty little badge in the corner. That is Obsidian. It's the that's black obsidian with a red, also obsidian. I don't know how it works. I don't study minerals. I just know that it looks probably cool. And between that and diamond just generally being a hellscape competitively, I'd really like to be an obsidian next year, you guys, if it's at all possible.
I mean, it's possible in a couple years if you want it.
I can work at it.
Yes.
My precipitous drop is coming.
All right, and we're all set. Everyone in the game?
Everyone here, I believe so. Starting things off on Pub, any 3 of 5 with no swap and no fingerprint. JD opening up on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, play it. That's it.
And this is the choice on 3-5. It's do you leave on fingerprint or do you leave on purloin? And there are genuinely good arguments for both. Obviously, fingerprint's what you want to leave on if you want AIs to complete, or maybe if you want an easier way to complete. Purloin is more like leaning in to a 50-50 kind of shot, right? If you trust your execution and you think maybe they're going to have a little trouble tracking who is at bar. With purloin, it's more like I'm okay with them knowing it might be me. And I think they're going to get it wrong anyway. Fingerprint is more about winning maybe completely clean.
Very slow start here, just chilling in conversation. Might go to chase seduction target. Nope, heads to the side instead. Very slow start to this particular game, but again, on a 3-5 variant, you can afford to take that time.
Yeah. And what you need to be doing now is people watching. JD misses a bug attempt as the ambassador goes by.
That was spooky.
I was going to say gets a fingerprint instead, but remember, they chose to go the other way on that choice.
Yeah,
Pretty much the choice to make when you pick Pub 3-5.
There's the first flirt coming in with 2 minutes left to play. So that's a thing.
That's not typical. You still got enough time here, and I like what JD's doing here, basically saying, I really want to see where Taft is going to go first, rather than have to bounce it all around. It's a slow enough start on the flirt that you really need to make sure you get the next one in relatively short order, I think.
Wanted to get it next to the ambassador, but the ambassador didn't want to hang around for it. Minute and 30 to play, still just the one flirt.
We do get another statue visitor. It is a very small statue visitor. This banana bread has to be good. That's one of the big things on pub. It's just like high rise. It's actually a lot of the same logic as on high rise. You really got to make sure you time the banana bread well.
Seduction target gets snuggly, gives us another free flirt for 68%, but we're down to a minute now.
Yeah, that gives you a few options, but you really just cannot afford to eliminate, like, say, statue visitors. You really need small money. Get back in here first.
Time to eliminate some statue visitors. I don't know how Rocker got low lit, but okay, she's back. Everything's fine. Smallman's gone, though.
That's a big decision, and the fact that Sergio is not shot Rocker, it's got to worry you if you're JD. You're thinking it didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God, the path thing. I haven't.
And the flirt doesn't take.
Oh, no! JD!
I was so worried.
Man.
When I saw the entry, I thought, I'm not sure that's close enough, and I was like, brace yourself. Tobo scream incoming. Here it comes. Oh, no.
What was the play, even if we got that, though? The time is so low. You can tell he wants to shoot Rocker, but Rocker hasn't done anything yet.
Yep. If JD could force overtime somehow, it's going to be Rocker. Just the confidence of not shooting Rocker there, I guess. Maybe just bouncing around a little bit, confident that there was not enough to finish the flirt. Wow. That's all there is to it. I think if you leave Smallman in there, the decision gets a lot tougher. But 2 statue visitors in pub, that's not what you're hoping for anyway.
No, it's not. And JD not able to make it happen, just locking up a little bit here on this first spy game.
Yep.
Let's see how he's able to play Sniper against Sergio on the spy. This time with Fingerprint instead of Purloin. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I'm perfectly fine swapping those out the way that JD did, but here's the question. If you're leaving Purloin on like that, how are you not using it to frame someone at the end once you realize a shot hasn't come off? Isn't that the whole point, is that you have it in your back pocket? You have something that you can rush at the end of the game maybe if you need to, whereas you can't necessarily do that as easily with Fingerprint. That's kind of the whole point of having Purloin on, is that everything falls apart. Maybe you've got a drink or a delegate in your back pocket already. In this case, leaves it on but doesn't do anything with it. The only other reason to have it on is to hope it distracts them while you do things like Fingerprint, while you do something, right?
Speaking of Fingerprint, Sergio gets one early on here off the briefcase instead of going for the early flirt, and now is stepping right into statues. A bit of a weird entry, has to adjust at the last second. Does take a highlight for it, but it's hard to tell if that was for the Twitch or just for being at statue at all at any point in time.
Yeah, and here's what you want now. You want the ambassador to put their hands. You want the ambassador.
What?
Okay,
That was different.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just shouldn't say anything.
I was gonna say... It'll be fine.
I was gonna say, is that legal pathing they're asking in chat? I don't think that's legal at all.
No, none of that was legal pathing.
Or legal anything.
You can't do that.
No, and you shouldn't. And oh no, the bug attempt.
Oh no, and the bug misses on the way through as we go back to the other statue and die as well.
I was fine with the start. I think it was probably going for a silent game there with the prince.
Oh my god! Sergio said he literally couldn't move!
That's not supposed to happen.
Checker! Checker, fix it!
All right, let's just move on, I guess.
If you want some theory crafting about why they can't move.
I don't.
So on to the next game.
Yeah. Wait for a lull. Wait for a lull in the next game.
Who won that? I was confounded by that pathing.
JD won. We're all tied up.
Thank you.
JD won it. Everything is fine. Don't worry. JD back on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I apologize that our viewers had to witness the first ever physical assault live on stream. Except for maybe the one time Smallman was the ambassador and got clotheslined by Salmon in the bug attempt. I think those are the two most violent moments, other than, of course, the bullet that we've ever had on stream.
All right, 33% on the first flirt. That is just fine as long as we don't do it twice more. Early contact takes out both Smallman and the twin.
Yeah, I'll say it matters a little bit less. There aren't too many Smallman shenanigans here on Pub 3.5. It's more just about preserving, statue visits and things like that. Although, what do you know? Guess where he was headed.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I mean, look, all else being equal, I'll expend a little bit of extra effort to keep Smallman in the game. But on Pub 3.5, I'm caring about him only slightly more than I am any other party goer.
This is very true. Flirtation cooldown expired. There's the next flirt, brings us up to 82. Now just get close on the last one, all right, JD? Don't do this to me again.
Don't do it. It's. I want you guys to know that in every game you play, it doesn't even have to be a casted game, it doesn't have to be SCL. It can be casual even, it can be practice mode. When you get 99% on the flirt, you're doing that to Taboshi. He knows wherever he is, he feels a pang like Yoda when Order 66 goes off. He just grabs his heart and falls over no matter where he is. Don't do it, people.
Stepping into statues here for that sweet inspect.
And they're not dead with one flirt left to go. That's a very good sign for JD.
I don't even know if Sergio realizes we're here. There's a door in the way.
There's a door in the way. Usually, when you leave that door in the way, it ends up hiding a bug or something. Not this time.
That's true. What is happening in this match right now?
Well, JD just broke an idol, but I don't think they're going to get punished for it, and they're really just waiting for Rocker. But there's so much time, I'm a little surprised they didn't just go to a window inside. Oh, this would be nice.
Is this going to work?
This is going to work.
Ooh, yep. No, Rocker went across.
That's fine. 82%, that's almost what you want, right?
That's true. There it is.
Yeah, and there's no way. Even if you were thinking about flirt pairing at that point, waiting for a ton.
I think JD literally just didn't get seen at the statue.
That would really be something, yeah. I don't know. But whatever it was, just not at all interested in it. And just a real clean win from JD.
Yeah, look, JD went into the statue and came back out, and then the sniper moved at all.
Yeah, that's just really camping that Amber Heart, I guess. Some people do, on some of these 3.5 variants, because there's actually not that much going on, they like to spend a lot of time just sort of on a perch, just getting the lay of the whole party and seeing how they move. It can be very nice not to move and to just sort of see who's moving around, but there need to be a few exceptions, and in this case, it might have hurt them.
I mean, you gotta, from this perch, if you're paying attention to JD's movements, you can tell that there's nowhere he could be but at the statue.
Right, yeah.
But didn't wind up happening this time around. Sergio says was aware he was at statue, but didn't see enough of the rest to warrant the shot.
Fair enough.
They have... what's that? Object permanence. They knew that the statue was behind the door.
I would say
it's not on screen. It doesn't exist.
I would say object permanence, the bare minimum required to play Spy Party. Yes, absolutely.
I'm ready for the next game.
Well, Sergio, back into the spiral in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And leaving Purloin off. Here we go. A little different than last time. Or than earlier, I should say. And gonna get a really quick flirt, very, very close to Taft.
Wait, isn't JD up 3-0? Am I wrong? I could be wrong.
You're probably right. I'm wrong.
Okay.
Our esteemed host will check.
Who's on deck after this? On deck after this is Hulu versus Turnip Boy.
Yes. That is a bronze match for those of you wondering or who are not aware of all the many machinations in the off season.
It's 2-1. Okay, I was just wrong.
There we go.
My apologies. This got weird.
So, well, Sergio's not really doing anything. There's another flirt. It's fine. Everything's fine so far, but
Everything's
it's just a standard
fine. All
pub
right, we got 74% on the flirt. Stepping into conversation with a double agent who doesn't want to be there.
I mean, in the headcanon, the double agent is on the spy's side. But until you've contacted them, think about this, until you've contacted them, they don't know who you are.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
why wouldn't they walk away?
There's the flirt done. 2 minutes to play.
And yep, all finished up, and now you've got choices. You got plenty of options. Not a whole lot of party activity. There's some walking around, but not a lot going on at mission sites. Now what you want to see, feel very different about this right now if you had, say, already a fingerprint, and the Amba is a bar.
That is very
Big
true.
choice coming up. That's a big choice. Whether or not you go for this print or not is actually a pretty big choice. It's going to ripple throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah. Getting low on time, though. You might have to, almost.
Banana bread.
Oh, that's...
Oh, dear.
That's low lights.
And not only is it low lights, but Hare, A, went to statues, and B, had just dropped off the briefcase. She is somebody you wanted in this party.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a big weight off JD's shoulders to see her gone.
And that makes me think that Sergio was thinking less about framing, because they would have looked around and seen that, and more about finishing. Yep.
Yep, there we go. Sergio into the statues. JD not really reacting to it at this point.
Knows they have time, though. Could be playing it cool.
There's the
Here's
completion.
the
Now he
choice.
swings over, takes the highlight, but doesn't take off the safety. That's
gotta be
always
it.
a bad sign when you see that, and Sergio keeps things tied up.
2-2 on pub, and now we are moving on to gallery again, where things are, let's just say, a little more exciting on average than pub.
Yes, pub. Pub is a slow map in general.
Yep.
All right. Well, tied at 2. JD on the spy going into gallery any 4 of 8. This is going to be a very different situation than the last set. Let's see what JD makes of it on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, night and day between pub and gallery, for sure.
Opens the game up at statues facing the sniper. Pair of inspects to open the game.
Honestly, I just can't ever criticize getting progress done immediately on gallery.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
perfectly fine opening thing to do. Just get something done early. You'll be glad you did later. You don't even necessarily have to have too much of a game plan yet. The game plan is get some stuff done so you don't run out of time later, and then see what happens in the middle of the game, see what the party presents you with.
30% on the flirt is not the number you're looking for. Gotta hit a green at some point moving forward.
And that matters a lot on gallery. We always say it.
That bug max range. Very nice. Full extension on the arm on the straight path around the conversation. That was flawless execution.
From the sniper side, from Sergio's side, it really didn't look like she was working close enough. It really didn't.
I think Sergio might have caught that microfilm animation, though.
I think he might have, yeah. At this point, if you've gotten away with the bug and you already have an inspect done, I don't know, do you really want to finish microfilm at all? I guess you could play a silent game now, but there are a lot of risks there.
There's the green test on the flirt, so that's no longer an issue. 81% is where we stand there, and that is plenty comfortable. We're purloining as well?
All the hardtails, do all of them.
White test on the purloins.
The gulp's going to confirm.
Book. Gulp comes off.
No shot yet. Oh,
Still
boy.
alive. Why are we still alive? I'm confused.
Maybe just such a counterintuitive time. If you already suspect that person, why on earth would they do that there?
Could be. Pulling out the next book.
Are we going to clean it again?
Yeah, but we're going to clean it more thoroughly this time. This time we're actually going to use a washcloth. Here it is. Clean it off.
Clean it off.
Completely invisible because
the curator of this
Sergio
gallery-
is zoomed in.
Curator of this gallery is going to be so mad. Why are my books wet? It's the last time I open up the party to the general public.
It's the contact
And the red.
coming off. Lots of big low lights there. Two of them were highlit.
Since
There
that
were
microfilm
two more on
highlight,
top of it.
Sergio has just not looked interested in teal at all.
Yeah, here's the thing. Look at this. We're 81% on the flirt. We're 2 out of 3 inspects, and we're not going to complete with either of them. We're going to transfer for the finish. What is this game?
Big moment here. They're really thinking about this. They might be watching the AMBA, though.
Didn't get
Close
seen with the
assist.
transfer, though. You have to remember, safety went off for a second there, but I think he changed his mind. JD gonna get away with this one.
2 mostly done missions that were not among the 4 completed missions. That is just a ton of mission progress. Now, JD, I know, is new to SCL. Did anyone tell them that mission progress doesn't carry forward? It's not rollover like your minutes, I'm sorry to say. That's just extra. That's just for us.
Wow, that was a bit of a statement on the spy side.
Yeah, that's a rough loss. I mean, look, it's still just 1 loss, but if you're Sergio, you look at that replay and you think, oh, man, I missed a lot.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's very rough. But you got to shake it off, and you got to play a good spy game now.
Yeah, absolutely. Sergio still well within striking distance on the spy side of the gallery here. Could easily tie this up with this one game. Let's see if he's able to do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Honestly, competitive spy party, it's all about getting back on that horse. You're going to get kicked. You're going to get kicked. Trust me. I know.
Yeah,
Just got to
absolutely.
keep going. Come back, play a nice game right afterwards. Leave it behind.
Barely able to get the flirt done in time. 34% at painting.
2 early statue visitors. JD not, at least so far, highlighting for them. There's a highlight for going to the same set twice for teal. But Morgan doesn't get one.
Sergio picking up briefcase fingerprint from the outside and trucking it all the way back in.
That's a lot of effort for 1 fingerprint.
It sure is.
Especially with a slow character, by the way. One of the absolute slowest in the game.
But, I don't know, progress on this map is always good to have,
And
especially late in the game.
That's a better use of the time, maybe.
Damn
bug.
straight!
A bug and a fingerprint? Okay, that's worth a trip up and down.
Oh yeah. We take those any day of the week.
And I think they got away with it here.
It certainly seems that way. Now pulling out the green book to go clean it. No, actually just bring it into the conversation here. We're not that much of a marathon right now, but picks up the next flirt, brings us up to 58%, which is not great for the second flirt, but we've still got time, minute and 45 to play.
This character's not really dressed for the running. Yeah, I would try to move as little as possible.
Yeah. This is very true.
And yet, where are we going?
Really wants that contact, it looks like. Or not, or we're just gonna transfer out here while JD's zoomed in. That also
totally
works.
Yeah, it doesn't even briefly look anywhere out front. Just staring back at the guest list and the ambassador.
Another book has been cleaned up, but doing things out front like this, if you know the sniper likes to zoom in, can be incredibly powerful.
Yep.
I'm a little bit surprised we didn't pick up a time ad there, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to press their luck. There were about 8 lowlights available, by the way, and AD got maybe 6 of them. Pretty good. That's a big sacrifice, but Sergio has so much progress already that if they don't get dinged for the microfilm, it's not going to matter.
Here's the thing, being such a slow character is a difficult proposition at this point in time because look at the clock, 35 seconds to play, and we're just now bringing the first half of the microfilm back home.
Yeah, at this point, actually, it would have been better not to take the microfilm out and to just dump it in blue. I think they might have gotten away with it.
Too late now. 20 seconds to play. Here's the last flirt coming off. We get that done, but we're not going to have enough time for the microfilm.
You got a purloin. You got a purloin instead. You hate it, but you got to do it.
Here it is. It's going to be overtime no matter what happens. It's a white test on the purloin, too.
Not looking. He's staring at Irish. He doesn't even look at the list. He's not looking at the list at all.
This is... What is happening? Doesn't even shoot on overtime.
The cursor...
And Sergio keeps things level.
That's a really good way to put it, because at about 6 or 7 seconds, they put their cursor right over Irish, and it doesn't move a pixel for the last 10 or 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Not a pixel. It's literally like they walked away. That's tough. That's a tough one. I wonder if there's something going on there with the statue highlights. I mentioned earlier that Teal got a statue highlight and Morgan didn't, and Morgan actually went back to statues too. I think maybe just not being confident who could have completed inspects. As it turns out, though, Sergio, once again, the spies imitating each other. 4 missions, plus half a microfilm just for good measure.
Yeah, it's certainly been a weird one. I feel like in a lot of these games, the sniper has been on to what's been going on, but hasn't been willing to pull the trigger.
Yeah, just been thinking about it.
Yeah. Either way, we are tied at 3 as JD steps back on to the spy side. Sergio on the sniper for the last set of games on gallery. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Do your missions, kids. You never know what the sniper's actually looking at. For the most part, you want to get stuff done. Not always. You got to be willing not to. But when in doubt, I would say, especially at intermediate levels, getting missions done is the main thing.
Indeed. JD opening the game off at blue bookshelves.
And we've seen a lot of, let's say, unusual microfilm maneuver in our sets tonight on Gallery. Be interesting to see what happens here.
We've seen some odd ones, to be sure.
You know what's funny about that half microfilm last game, which didn't end up mattering, they walked that all the way outside, too. So they spent more... Yeah, they spent more time on the mission they didn't do than most of the missions they did last game.
I know. Alright, picking up that first flirt, 51%.
I guess taking books outside, that's the new meta, you guys. Oh, wow. Oh, this is great. The SDA is at Windows, which means Sergio can do something that's very valuable when you have the opportunity. They can confidently highlight just a few people who could have done a real BB and leave everyone else. Not the spy for some reason. That's very strange, but... There we go. Everyone but. Honestly, if you can do that, if the party allows for it, if you're confident that only one DA is in conversation, and there's, let's say, under 7 people who could have done a real BB, I don't care what your highlighting strategy was before. It's not going to be as effective as highlighting those people instead and doing the rest with your memory.
JD on his way back inside now, has 85% on the flirt, and blue book in hand. Looks like it's going to green after having been washed off outside. This could be clean.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it better be when you spend all that much time with it.
No reaction from Sergio here. He just took out the microfilm.
Oh dear.
What?
This has to be a misclick.
What?
This.
And now he's going to...
He's going... What?
What is happening?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh,
He got
okay.
caught for what he thought was a microfilm transfer because he was at green and then he went to blue to put it back.
We just...
What just happened?
We just found out the downside, maybe, of taking the book outside for so long to clean it. Sometimes it's so clean you forget where it's from. I don't know. Oh dear. I mean, there's a few possible explanations there. Could be a misclick, could be forgetting, what you've done already. Whatever it was, it just handed Sergio a game. A game that I think they were maybe losing a little bit.
Oh man, that's brutal.
That's very rough. Very rough.
Yes, it was.
Yes. And on we go.
Yep. Making sure I have all the scores correct. It should be right now. 4-3, JD.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe so.
I am looking into the future, and that looks somewhat correct. And
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's get this last game of gallery over and done with. Sergio on the spy side, JD on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, play it.
Oh, that was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that hurt. Oh, super early white purloin from the paintings as Smallman right to the back of the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, the shenanigans have begun.
Yep. And don't think it was seen. Has elected not to gulp. And there we go.
There he is. There's the gulp. Oh,
Nope,
we found
he's on
him!
it.
We
Got it.
found it! We found
He
Smallman!
can't aim. He's ready to.
We can't shoot Smallman!
Don't rush it,
There's
JD.
too much cover!
JD, you have a lot of time here, and there's still quite a few missions to do. Take your time. Here we go.
Lighting people until
Can't do it. There we go.
Smallman shows himself.
And there's the
the
BB.
contact.
Here we go.
There's the shot.
Okay.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. By the way, I forgot to mention this earlier, and this seems like the right time to mention it because of what's on screen. If you're wondering why the scope is shaped like a tree,
Right.
would you believe it's just the dev getting a head start on Arbor Day, which is April 26th? Don't plant a tree, everybody. And can we get the hell out of gallery now, please? Can we please get the hell out of gallery?
Yep, we can go now.
All right, on we go.
High Rise is up next. Any 3 of 5. JD takes off transfer, swap, and inspect.
All right.
Sergio on the sniper side. It's tied 4-4 in 3, 2, 1. Play it.
Even on Purloin instead of Inspect, you do not see that very often.
This has been such a weird set.
I mean,
We're
both of
still
them
on
have been.
AI control.
We're still on AI control. And the AI thinks, just like the previous competitors did, boy, those blue books look really interesting.
And JD is like, nope, I don't want it.
Nope, no books. No more books ever again. It's entirely possible JD will not go near a book the rest of the season, and I wouldn't blame them.
Oh my god.
Chad is asking if Damon and Toby are wearing Arbor Day hats. Yes, that's exactly what that is.
Yes.
Yes, good catch. We have some very observant snipers in chat, unfortunately.
34% on the first flirt. Oh my god, this is...
Sergio, at least, is zooming in on the list, has definitely noticed the mission loadout. Every now and then, you know, you don't, but in this case, they're all on it. Just one more thing for them to watch. Normally, though, if you don't want to rush the mission late, if you don't want to give yourself that option, it's more about using that for cover to do something else. Very easy to get a cheap fingerprint in, maybe, for example, while they're looking at the list, something like that. Maybe you rush a bug. It's a little harder to do on high rise because you can't really plan things out the way you want. There's only a few places to look, but those are the reasons you would normally have Purloin on. I think more often, though, it ends up being a spy desperation move at the end.
JD opts to switch conversations for some reason. We're down to just under 2 minutes as we have just the one flirt still.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real reason to do it, I guess. I guess maybe it looks more natural.
I suppose.
Spy casual.
Contact coming off. Possible split.
And the white purloin. Here it comes.
White purloin. There's the moment.
And how confident is Sergio? Is she going to
Definitely
gulp?
see the list gone.
Going to be more confident now, I think, after that gulp.
Yeah, I think so.
He was looking elsewhere when it happened, though, because the banana bread, it actually did its job. It distracted. There was actually a big delay, though, before the purloin went off because it was a white. You got that long white animation that leaves Toby hanging. That's not what you want, but in this case, it happened to work.
Not much in the way of lowlights from it either. Although we've got 85% on the flirt now. We just need the one more.
And can Sergio really shoot for this?
I don't know. Well, apparently he can, but it's not the right one.
Yeah, so here's the problem. It's just reacting to the banana bread and just not being confident about the purloin. It's totally off screen, the fade, and they're just worried they missed some stuff is all it comes down to. Not enough confidence. I think the thing is, though, once you see it go, the thing you need to see is, okay, Boots took it. What does she do with that drink? Does she play it cool or does she gulp? She gulped. There's your opening.
Yeah.
But you panic a little bit maybe, and you make a bad decision. But they did have to shoot because that game was about to end.
It was. It was good. Good game sense, but not the right target, unfortunately. And now JD is back in front. I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
JD's back in front.
JD's back at 5-4 and now playing again in their first SCL match for their first ever SCL point.
Let's see if it can happen. JD on the sniper now can guarantee at least a draw with this game here. Sergio trying to pull it back from the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
You get the more traditional setup here. No purloin. You're going to get fingerprint on instead. Sergio with a lot of options.
Absolutely. That's not a pad. That is a bush.
Well, it looks about the same, thankfully. So
Yeah,
Sergio
it worked out.
does the right thing and
Had a
stays
good angle
cool.
for it.
There's no bush pad. Are you sure?
Well, there is now.
There is now. You know there's a bush pad as long as you're confident enough to act like there's a bush pad.
Yeah, exactly. Another slow start, this time from Sergio, but once again, plenty of time to work with on this map. Selection target shows up at literally the worst possible spot, and Sergio capitalizes with literally the worst possible flirt for 17%.
And I think a bad decision, too. I think there was a chance to get no lowlights on that banana bread and did not take it.
Well, the contact came off anyways, for 2 or 3 lowlights. And now stepping in to the blue bookcase, because goddamn do the spies love the blue bookcase.
I don't know what's in the blue book, but apparently it's riveting. Apparently the blue book, a page turner.
Stepping in for the second flirt.
And Boots rightly decides, nah, I'm not crazy about where you're standing. I'm going to go
Ladies
somewhere
and
else.
gentlemen, it has happened. We've got a white test flirt for 51%.
We'll take it. It's better. You're in a better position than you were, and you've got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
For now. But the AI, not very active. And this is something, if you're Sergio, you really need to have noticed at this point. You need to adjust your plans accordingly.
And
that's
we're going to adjust the plans by stepping into statues to pick up a pair of inspects. Give the sniper something to worry about, even if it's us.
Just a little something. You know, you're not done yet. But you're going to have to go back. And now, if you don't hit this green flirt, actually, things get a little tricky. Maybe you got to go finish inspects before.
Time is starting to run down. 1:05 left to play. Do we hit the green? We do! Starting with 17% and still running it back to a 3 flirt. We are under a minute to play, but we have 2 missions done and 2 inspects as well.
Ooh, he's looking mad. Sergio swinging his camera around. I think maybe just frustrated, wondering what they want to do here. Maybe frustrated with the ambassador for not moving around enough.
Maybe forgot he couldn't purloin. Who knows?
Yeah, that could be.
That happens to me more than I'd care to admit. Stepping into statues now to finish it up right at 30 seconds.
Here come the beeps.
Here come the beeps indeed, but not for long. As the shot comes off and JD buys himself match point.
The thing that beats the beeps is the pew, and I don't think there were any AIs done there. I think that was just a rough party. You had to make something happen for yourself, and it didn't happen. There was a chance to take a bug path there at the end. They kind of walked by the Amba anyway, and JD, as it turned out, was actually not zoomed in, was not watching it that closely. Think that might have been an opportunity, but we'll never know.
And now we get to the last map in the rotation. This time around, it's going to be Ballroom. JD only needs one of these two games to clinch the match and is going to be starting things out on the spy side with Sergio on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Sergio needs to sweep Ballroom, but this is the kind of venue you can sweep, absolutely. And I like this from JD. I like what this presages, an aggressive spy game. Make them take a tough shot on a rush or something like it, a very aggressive game. You're playing with house money. You've got your point already, and you've got a chance to win it anyway in the next game as sniper. I would come at him hard here.
And it looks like JD is doing exactly that. Opens with center statue, picks up a mission completion right off the bat, and then right afterwards steps in for that first flirt. Hits the green as well, though at a slight distance to bring it up to 47%.
Yeah,
and as Poonoob in the chat is pointing out, no highlight from the statue visit.
Well, we've seen some non-statue highlighting already. We saw it on Gallery earlier, for example. So interesting to consider what might be going on. Obviously, Sergio using it for something else. Both twins highlight, so let's say that's probably not a twin differential highlight, for example. But Hair gets highlight too for a statue visit, so it's not really clear. These might be pulling double duty. I think the highlights are tracking more than one thing here, and we've talked before about the risk that poses.
Absolutely. In conversation with Double Agent here, if the party settles down a bit and starts talking, we might be able to get a quick contact, but there's a lot of people outside of conversation right now, and JD is not hitting that right click.
Yeah, and 3 of them are highlights, so if you're paying attention to the party at all here, you really don't want to be knocking this many people out. The party is actually being pretty good. There we go! This is not what you want to do. Oh, no.
3 highlights gone and a little party in the corner.
All of them next to each other makes it so easy. 5 people in total, and one of them small man. That is a brutal banana bread, but it's covering for a purloin.
Well, if you have to cover for a purloin, that's not necessarily a bad way to do it. Give the snipers something to sink their teeth into. There's the take. There's the list gone. Did he see the fade? We'll find out shortly.
Yes, he lowlights the taker.
Yes, he did.
So it's narrowed down, but JD gets their second flirt and only needs one more. I just don't see how they're going to be confident about this. They're going to have to shoot for a flirt in the last minute.
Actually neutral it Papa Danger, so not that confident in the fade.
Rethinks it, yeah. This is a rough spot for Sergio. I think they're going to have to take an aggressive shot. Their hope, the way to salvage this game is if JD has to chase that seduction target a little obviously.
Sergio knows he's in a difficult position. He knows the purloin is gone. He's finally got JD highlight. How does this end?
He's staring at that conversation even though the ambassador is somewhere else. Kind of interesting. I wonder if maybe he's got a little beat on this.
35 seconds. There's
sure
the
looks
last
like a flirt.
It was pretty quick off the entry.
Yeah, tough shot, but this is what you're looking for.
No reaction from Sergio, and JD finishes it off with flair? I don't know. I lost the sentence. I'm sorry.
Okay. Finishes it off. It's the real thing. Finishes off with an aggressive spy win. Wins 7-4. A lot of interesting, entertaining games. I think in that case, it's just taking a big risk with the banana bread. The thing is, we kind of criticized it for all the lowlights it was giving off, particularly significant ones. But if it's done deliberately, sometimes you specifically want to trade a lot of valuable lowlights because it makes it that much more likely they're going to miss the hardtail you're covering for. In this case, it works beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So now we are on to our last